Hello there, and welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. This is where we take a fresh look at ourselves, the world around us. We have a great conversation with your help, with your calls, and then we hopefully walk away from this brief hour we get to spend with one another a little bit changed, a little bit closer to God. I'm Debbie Georgianni with Jerry Escher and you, and we hope you call in when you hear this topic. And Jerry, I'm looking forward to it.
So am I. Always look forward to every broadcast of Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. And for those of us who have been with us this week, Debbie and I are taking part in a fund drive at the Station of the Cross. And those of you who are listening on the Station of the Cross right now, please, 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 during our show hour, show up and show up strong. And any other Catholic stations that are having a fund drive this week or next week, or have them coming up in the future, please be very, very generous. Just a quick glance around at the world around us and even things going on in the church will tell us that we need Catholic radio perhaps now more than ever. So please be generous. And today we have, did you mention the topic already or no?
No, I was leaving that for you. I have housekeeping to do.
Okay. Well, we're talking about grudges today. And we want to hear from you. That's the fund drive phone number, 833-288-EWTN. See, we're human, folks. You mentioned you give out a phone number about 1,000 times in the morning, and it stays with you. 833-288-3986. Grudges can have a tremendous impact on us. They can impact us even physically, emotionally, psychologically. How do we let go of them? How have you managed to let go of a grudge that you held? Maybe you haven't yet. Maybe you're still working on that. We can talk about this in a very honest and safe way here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie at 833-288-3986.
So you titled it, Do You Hold Grudges? And so, yes, sometimes it's very easy to fall into that where you've been hurt so many times, or you anticipate a future, hurt that's going to happen. And then you say, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to hold on to this because this is never going to happen to me again. So like a protective thing. But then what happens, though, I think, Jerry, is the bitterness builds up and it just eats you up from the inside. It's just not good. So let's talk about this, holding on to grudges. You don't have to out yourself. Let's just talk about it and see if we can help one another at 833-288-3986. Please call in now and talk about grudges today. And Jerry, when you pass it back to me, I want to just take care of some housekeeping because emails and all sorts of comments are coming in, and we have not been able to get back to everybody in a timely manner because we are on the pledge drive. So I just wanted to address it, generally.
Okay. Well, I'll just mention the topic again on the phone number. Do you hold grudges? Have you ever held a grudge? I have. I'm going to just out myself right now. Some years ago, there was a colleague of mine. I won't mention who that is, of course, but I assisted them considerably financially to get their ministry started. And they soon after that had their lawyer send me a letter saying that my client doesn't owe you that money, and it was a sizable sum, could have really been used with my ministry and so forth. And so I have never gotten a penny of that money back. And for a time, Debbie, I did hold a grudge about that. But I have prayed. I've worked hard. See, the thing is, you have to sometimes work hard to let go of a grudge. You have to forgive somebody. You have to say, God, please give me the grace to get beyond this in my life. And I think I am beyond that now. But every one of us has situations in our lives where people do things, they hurt us, they say something, they act a certain way, they may cheat us in a certain way. How do we let go of those things and just move on in peace so that we don't get eaten alive by them? 833-288-3986. Join the conversation. It's your program. Okay, Debbie, go ahead.
At like just one person? Was it a group of people? Did that person or those folks, did they reach out to you to try and
Man, we lost your audio, Debbie, for a second there. Are you there?
Yeah. Am I here? I'm here.
There you are. You're back.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw your lips moving. I knew you were saying something profound.
Oh, okay. Wow. I was just going to ask you, did they reach out to you to apologize, or did they try to, make it up to you in some way, or did they just walk away? Did they send the lawyer letter and then just say, that's it? I want nothing to do with you.
That,
I mean,
was
how
it.
did
That was
end?
the end of it. Yeah, that was the end of it pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
That takes a lot, though. I mean, that really hurts, when somebody doesn't live up to their word, when they're not, that's tough. That was a good example, actually. I always say this, I promoted this last week, Gary Zimak's book, Let Go of Anger and Stress. It's such a great book, and this could help in this area as well. Plus, we did this on purpose, this topic, because it's the feast of St. Jerome, and St. Jerome had an anger issue problem. And so, we're talking about that today, and that's what it can do to you, and what's the remedy for that, and how to work through that, and not hold on to grudges. It's not good for us, and that's not, we know that. We know God doesn't want us to do that. Number to dial is 833-288-3986. Okay.
We are going to take your calls here in just a moment. You get on the program typically in the order in which you call, 833-288-3986, talking about holding or not holding grudges today. We got 3 lines now. 4 lines are occupied. That leaves 2 available if you'd like to be in the first group of callers on our program. We would love to entertain your thoughts on this, 833-288-3986. Yeah, I love the way you mentioned that about St. Jerome, because it shows how very real the saints were. Sometimes we put them way up on a pedestal, Debbie, but I think a lot of our listeners probably are aware of the anger issue that St. Jerome had. And didn't he do some form of penance to kind of break himself of that?
Yeah, I think he used to walk around with a rock or something like that, and used to hit himself or something of that nature, to remind, kind of to shock yourself, out of that state of going into that raw emotion of anger. This is a really good topic. I think you guys like it because all of the phone lines are full. 833-288-3986. Join us in this conversation about letting go of grudges so you can have a happy, healthy life. We'll be right back.
Want the latest pro-life news? Want it delivered? Sign up. It's free. EWTN Pro-Life Weekly, your source for everything happening now in the fight to protect the sanctity of human life. New episodes delivered every week to your inbox. So if you really want to know,
sign up today.
Go to EWTN.com/pro-life today.
Hey, Take Two family, it's here, and we can't wait for you to see what we've created to help you reach your highest potential in life. It's StandTallToday.com, our brand new website loaded with just the things you're looking for. Those include our team of life coaches, resources picked out just for you, our webinars, book club, and more. Whether you're struggling to find your purpose or feel like you have it pretty much figured out, let us help you today at StandTallToday.com. That's StandTallToday.com.
Call to communion.
Through EWTN Radio, we talk to audiences all over the world. One thing I've found out is everybody in the whole world has the same set of questions. They live the same human life. They all want meaning, they all want love, they all want significance, they want forgiveness. That's the most fascinating thing to me. The same answers work wherever you are throughout the world, because we're all children of God.
Called to Communion with Dr. David Anders. This afternoon, 2 Eastern on EWTN Radio.
Hi, you're with Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN. Our thanks to Michael Birchfield, our producer. Jeff Burson handles social media. So if you're watching the video stream on the EWTN Catholic Radio YouTube or Facebook pages, you can comment there, and Jeff will gather some of those for us to get to if we have time. And let's see. Ryan Penny is on the phones. Yes, my mind
Great.
wandered there for a minute. So Michael, Jeff, and Ryan are the show team with us today. And I want to also bring your attention to a great program, EWTN Bookmark with Doug Keck, Saturday afternoon, 4:30 p.m. on EWTN Radio. And this week, Doug is joined by Edward Penton. Maybe you see him on EWTN News Nightly to discuss Edward's new book, The Next Pope, The Leading Cardinal Candidates. That should be a fascinating conversation, Debbie. And that's Saturday afternoons at 4:30 on most of these same EWTN stations.
Okay, we'll get to Mary in just a second, but real quickly, I want to go back because somebody just asked me, can you hold up the book again? Gary Zimak, Let Go of Anger and Stress, Be Transformed by the Fruits of the Spirit. Love this book. He did a great job on it. It's his newest book. I don't work for Gary Zimak. I just love his books. And he's a great person. So I don't want you to think I'm like employed by Gary Zimak Ministries. But
you at least have to give a plug for our book.
Oh, that's right. Trustful Surrender. Great book. It's the spotlight book for September on EWTNRC.com. It's about loved ones that have walked away from the faith or put God on a shelf for a little bit, and then you hear about all their twists and turns of their life, real life stories, 11 real life stories handpicked by us, and to help you to grow in hope and confidence that God has a plan and it's all in his timing. Okay, real quickly, Jerry, I want to just housekeeping. I must get to this. I promised our Take Two family. Okay, you guys are sending us amazing messages, how much you love the show, how much you love the conversations, how you're suggesting topics, you're sharing your life stories with us. Okay, we are on the pledge drive. We're in pledge drive season. Okay, so we have many pledge drives coming up all the way until November. And so with that means once we jump off the air on Take Two, we go right into a pledge drive with a local Catholic radio affiliate. So please forgive us. We're asking forgiveness up front. We probably won't get back to many of your emails, but we are reading everything. Okay, so please know that. And you can always go to standtalltoday.com, click on the book club, join our book club, check out what's happening on the radio show, get a free consultation for life coaching. You can even have free consultation with all of the life coaches. It's really great. So any which way you stay connected with us, that's great. The other thing I just wanted to share real quickly, Jerry, we're getting a lot of folks that are listening on SiriusXM or Alexa or EWTN.com. That's wonderful. But a few have commented that your local Catholic radio station plays us a couple hours later because apparently there's Mass going on at the time when Take Two is on. So if maybe talk to your local station, call them and say that you'd like to see if you can get Take Two live, because Take Two live really works well. That means everybody has a chance to participate. Now, we're grateful if you time shift us, but I just wanted to say when it's live, Jerry, wouldn't you agree? And everybody has a chance to call in. It's just a super fun time together.
Yeah, we're looking at today's program, and just about every day, we, like you said before, we have full lines, and we're going to get to them in a second. But I agree with you. This is a show that works best live, and we appreciate all of the affiliates who carry the program live. And as you said, even those who feel they have to time shift it for reasons that they feel are important to their listeners, we're just grateful to be on any and all of the stations that we are on. So thank you, affiliates, very, very much.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, now Mary is first up in Cleveland, Ohio, listening on The Rock. Hi, Mary. Welcome.
Hi, Jerry and Debbie. Great to be on your show. Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell us about this topic today.
So I've had two different issues. One was with my brother when I was young, and it was very difficult to forgive him. I finally went on a retreat. And it took a lot of soul searching and all of that. And so after that, I had to change my ways because, you know, you get angry all the time, and that was my defense, was to be angry. So confession was just so huge. I did a general confession on this retreat, and that was massively effective for me. Well, then years forward, I have in-law that. You know, it's just things get a little difficult sometimes, and comments are made, and I didn't want to be that kind of person. You know, I got on the defensive sometimes, and I felt it in my heart too much. I really tried to be nice all the time, but it was difficult. So I finally, and I went to confession. That didn't really help as much, although it did. But what I really found was so helpful to me was being charitable. And so thinking of things that I could do because really what it came down to was the other individual was probably not confident in their behavior, or confident in their relationship with me. So charity was so huge. And so every time, and I still struggle with it. So every time I feel that way, because I didn't want to be that person that held that anger in, and I knew what that did to me when I was younger. So making meals, helping with kids, just being positive when I spoke with them was huge. And it does make a difference each time.
Well, it does. Mary, God bless you. Thanks for your call, and thanks for listening to The Rock. We appreciate them carrying the program. And as you were talking, it occurred to me, we only need to approach this in the form of what we can control. We can't control the other person, how they're going to think, how they're going to act toward us, how they're going to behave, or anything like that. If we focus on changing ourselves, that's what it sounds like you're talking about. We can forgive.
Exactly.
We don't know what's going on in the other people's lives. Sometimes it's hard, but we have to maybe try to give them the benefit of the doubt. But Debbie, you're big on this. We only hold ourselves back from moving forward if we're holding on to grudges and things like that.
Well, it frees you, Mary. It freed you from being trapped in that vicious cycle of expecting another hurt or remembering that hurt, or that's a trap. I think that's a trap from. I really think that's a trap from the dark side, because
absolutely.
And love conquers.
Sometimes that becomes all you think about, and all and it can really it only hurts you, I think, in the long run. And charity doesn't hurt anybody. Charity doesn't hurt anyone.
Well, and the love conquers. When you show a real honest, authentic love, even if it's not fully, if you're fully invested in it, but it's the right thing to do, that love, it speaks volumes about you, and then it showers the other person with some healing that is needed. And I think, I'm taking your example, Mary, and I'm thinking, if we could just do this in the world right now, really blanket the world with real, true love, we could probably have a better world overnight. What do you think?
Absolutely. Yes, it would be amazing. But there has to be forgiveness as well, like you said. So otherwise it perpetuates,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, there are a lot of legends and stories that rise up about the great saints, but one that I'm recalling is Mother Teresa of Calcutta. Whether this is true or not, I can't vouch for that, but I heard the story told one time. She was asking for alms for the poor, and she stretched out her hand, and somebody spat on her hand, and she says, "Well, that was for me. Thank you. Now may I have something for Jesus?" It would have been so easy for her to, you see what I'm saying? It would have been so easy for her to just immediately get into this vindictive grudge mode. And instead, her heart was so disposed to charity that you're talking about, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. It's so hard to not take things personally. And
right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much. And your fall pledge drive is coming up in a couple weeks, so maybe we'll hear from you again. So thank you so much, Mary, at the Rock in Cleveland. Jerry, as Mary was speaking, I was thinking about, for those of you who have ever been through a divorce, it's horrible. It's like the worst thing. It's just terrible. The pain is so at times so unbearable. And there is this almost, natural thing to just want to hold on to grudges and resentment and bitterness and, kind of almost a get even type mentality initially. And it really takes a lot of time to work through those feelings. It's very hard because think about it, Jerry, you once loved that person so intensely and great in a really deep way, right? And then it breaks, and it breaks overnight, and that's painful. So anybody's been divorced, you know what I'm talking about. I went through it in 2007. It was the worst year of my life.
Yeah, well, when you love that intensely, as you said, then any sort of falling out of love or separating or divorcing it's definitely going to be very, very painful.
It hurts. Okay, we have a couple open phone lines because somebody dropped off, but I didn't catch the name. But did you catch that comment that came in? That was powerful. Whoever that was, please call back and share about what you were sharing about holding on to grudges. Something to the effect, it's like drinking poison and hope the other dies. Did you read that?
I did. Yes.
That was powerful.
Yeah, well, it eats us up inside. When we hold a grudge against someone, the other person may not even be aware of it.
That's right.
And so it doesn't necessarily harm them in as much as it does us. So, yeah, whoever that was, if you'd like to call back, the number is 833-288-3986. Talking about holding grudges, letting go of grudges. And our friend Michael in Boston is next, listening on the Station of the Cross. And Michael, I know we've heard from you a couple times this week on the Fun Drive. Welcome to Take Two.
Hello, Debbie and Jerry. Once again, pardon my voice. It's still fluctuating from Mickey Mouse to a mafia don now. But they're still working on it, trying to bring me back to my usual South Boston accent. But I'll tell you, before I start, talk about grudges, you hit me right in the with an arrow right in the heart. I've been a police officer almost 35 years. I'm still working. Well, right now I'm out sick. But so many occasions where you can get a grudge, and it'll stick. One in particular, I was a young police officer, about 25 years old, 26, and I worked in the section of the city of Boston where I grew up in. I still lived, and I still do live. So this individual was breaking into a house, whatever, came out the back window. I got chasing him, whatever. Cruise ahead, back when I could run, and caught him. Long story short, bring him down to the station, put him in the cell. He swung around and whacked me square right in the face. My eye went up like a balloon, and boy, oh boy, was I angry. Well, anyways, nothing happened to him. We just put him in the cell, and the next day I had to go do overtime because I already signed up myself. I had to wear sunglasses. I had this big swollen eye. It was at a bank. You can do overtime as a guard or whatever, do whatever they need. They have a policeman around. And boy, was I angry. My eye was throbbing. I said, boy, if I ever see that guy, I'm going to fix him. And as the day went on, my memory just, I don't know what it was, kept going to, but I remember him as a little kid. He's like 10, 15 years younger. He came from a real bad household. The mother was a floozy, the father was no good, and a real bad situation there. And I started feeling bad for him. And I said, I started saying a couple of Hail Marys. And I just still killing time. I'm walking around the back. I'm saying Hail Marys under my breath. And I'm not kidding you. Within an hour. I'm not saying my eye was not any more swollen, but it didn't hurt me as much because I took the anger away. And I started feeling bad for that guy. He eventually went to jail for like 7 years, and I prayed for him when I took my rose. I always kept 1 decade for him. And he got out of jail one time, and he walked into it, and it didn't look good. He stuck his hand out. He shook hands. He made amends. He says, you did, because when I went to go ahead and testify against him, I said, could you drop the charge of him hitting me? And they didn't. The GA wouldn't do it. So he went away, not just for what happened to me, but what he had done. So the point is, it is poison, like you said, what that fellow said with the message. It can be poison if you allow it, and it will affect you. It will affect you in how you think. And that's what Jesus says. You want mercy? You better show it. And I thank him every day that he put those thoughts in my head. How many years ago? 30 some odd years ago. And that's all I get to say about the matter. Get rid of grudges because they will bring you down.
They will. Michael, thank you. What an amazing story. This individual that I guess you arrested smacked you in the police station or whatever, and you got that big swollen eye, but you turned immediately to prayer. I mean, you took the high road, which is absolutely fantastic. And, you know, the fact that you sort of had this reconciliation with that individual is very, very beautiful. And you see your grace is at work in these situations. You know, when we forgive somebody, when we take a prayerful approach, try and take the moral high road, grace enters into those situations, you know, because where there is love, where there's charity, God is there, and God is love, and He gives graces. So, wow, Debbie, an amazing story there. I'm reminded of, as Michael was finishing there, that saying that I always like to say on the show. Everyone you meet is engaged in a battle you know nothing about. Be kind always. And Michael chose to be kind in that situation. Okay? All right, Michael, thank you again for joining us on the program. Appreciate it very much. Thanks also for your pledges to the fund drive at the Station of the Cross. Again, wherever you're listening, folks, if your local Catholic radio station is holding a pledge drive, please be generous. Give to EWTN, but also give to your local station. We need it right now in major, major ways. 833-288-3986. Hang on, Elizabeth, you're next.
In the words of Mother Angelica, pray before you vote. Vote in the name of God. Are you prepared to vote? Visit EWTN.com/vote for everything Catholic voters need to know before picking up a ballot.
Wings is the weekly newsletter that's packed with program info, features, and updates of all that's going on at the Global Catholic Network. Just go to EWTN.com/wings. Fill out your name and email address, and you'll start getting your wings every week. When you get yours, send it to all your friends, and they can send it to their friends. And pretty soon, we're covering the whole world with the good news about EWTN. Wings, the weekly newsletter from EWTN, the Global Catholic Network.
60 Seconds with Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen.
Peace be to you. What is prayer? Well, the best definition of prayer is that it is a lifting of the mind and the heart to God. To make it more simple, prayer is a dialogue. Man breaks silence in two ways. A dialogue with his fellow man, and a dialogue with God. My dialogue with a fellow man is a proof that he is a person, and so am I. The same is implied in a dialogue with God. And both of these dialogues are fulfilled in the two commandments: love God and love neighbor.
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
Hi, this is Dr. David Anders. There are a lot of misconceptions about the Catholic faith. We clear them up on Call to Communion, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Thank you so much for listening. It's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio. I am Jerry Usher along with Debbie Georgiani and you. We always say that you are the key individual in this program, and we look forward to hearing from you. We're talking about grudges today and how damaging they can be for us and how we hold on to them. And many of you are sharing with us your recipe for letting go of grudges as you have during your life. 833-288-3986 is the number. And we heard from Ron in L.A., our good friend Ron. He has sent a text. He says, "Hi, Jer. Grudges are most difficult with family members, especially when they have died. Also, thank you. Let's see. Thank you for your prayers about his father. His father just passed away. So Ron has lost his mother and his father in the last couple of years. So we'll keep all of them and you, Ron, in our prayers." Yeah.
Okay. There's time for you to call in and share about the grudges that you have held and how you let go of them at 833-288-3986. We want to hear from you. This is an important conversation. I am taking notes. I'm learning. I'm growing. In addition to Gary Zimak's book, I'm learning from you. So call in 833-288-3986. It's not like I hold a lot of grudges anymore. Okay, Elizabeth. Elizabeth in Crystal Lake, Illinois. First time caller. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome.
Hello, how are you? I think that you guys are doing well, yes?
Blessed be
We
God.
are.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. All right, good. Okay, so I want to say, first of all, rejoice because we are in God's world and He has the whole world in His hands. So that is so happy.
Amen.
I want to tell you that I hold grudges, or when I do hold grudges, it's because I think I'm so smart and I want my way. And I want to talk about it, and I want to be justified, and I want people to reaffirm how I should be and have been and am suffering because such an injustice was done to me. And I want people who have hurt me to bow down and say they're sorry and give me their time and let me be way up on that pedestal looking down at them and say, yes, you should be saying you're sorry to me. So that is why I hold grudges. It's so selfish, and I want to keep it going. I want to keep talking about it. And I don't want to forgive until someone says they're sorry to me. And then through that time when it's like the wound, I keep it open. So like it's still bleeding because maybe then I think, well, now something will come that will stop the bleeding. And something will come to me so that I will start to heal. And it's not a very good way of getting that healing, but it's the beginning of it.
So, Elizabeth, let me just get this straight. I just want to make sure I understood you correctly. So in order for you to have closure on this resentment or this bitterness or the grudge that you're holding, you need to hear those words of asking for forgiveness, and then that begins that healing process for you. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, it's a little bit mixed up because I get myself in such a whirlwind.
Okay.
And I want help, but I'm still being so selfish where I just want to just keep telling people and talking about it so that they can say,
I see.
no wonder. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then as
I was just going to say, Elizabeth, the only thing I wanted just to say about that, because we do a lot of life coaching and we talk about this, about holding on to these feelings of resentment, or even to talk about it or what has been done to us. A lot of times there's a certain thing we're looking for, that's why we keep talking about it. And whether it's like validation or sympathy or something of that nature. Yeah. So I would just, honestly, Elizabeth, in my humble opinion, what I have done in my life is, because I could find myself doing that as well. And I normally, when something happens to me that I feel is an injustice or something that has gone on, that I think to myself, this is just wrong. This just is lousy, right? I find myself now, Elizabeth, doing what my mother always said, is offering it up. And I do that on a regular basis now. I offer it up for my own sins and for the sins of others. And it's really quite interesting how fast it gets off of me, if you will. It gets away from me, and I don't, and there's no emotion attached to it. And then of course I don't have any drama afterwards. So it's really kind of a beautiful thing. I used to make fun of my mother. I'll be honest with you. My mother would say, offer it up. And I'd say, you offer it up, Mom. I would say that all the time. And she would, right? But it works. Jerry, what do you think about offering it up?
I think offering anything up, it's a lost, I was going to say a lost art, if you will. We just don't hear that as much anymore. My mother used to say it all the time too. And the thing is, it hasn't gone out of style. We can still offer anything to the Lord. even the littlest, tiniest little things, if we just unite ourselves with Christ on the cross, miraculous things can happen. I just don't think we realize and appreciate that much. So
Right.
I'm with you, Debbie and Elizabeth. Offering things up to the Lord, absolutely.
Yeah, so let's
Yes.
try it, Elizabeth.
So,
You do it, I'll do it, and see how it works.
oh yes, and I have done that. I have let go of grudges. Oh my gosh, I'm 60 years old. I'm just so full of joy and just grateful to the Lord our God for always helping me every single minute of every single day. So thank you so much. And this is a beautiful thing, what you have told me about offering it up. I just started to tell my teenage daughter that. And I see the look that she gives me. So thank you. The Holy Spirit just had those words put to me so that I'm going to keep doing it. Because I have 4 children, and I tell them, they said, oh, well, Mother, you're such a nice person. I said, you guys, the only reason I'm a nice person is through the power of God. There's no way that I would ever be like this. For all the things that have happened in my life and all the things that I have done that people could hold grudges against me. Also, one more thing I want to say is that when I'm thinking of the person that has hurt me, I pray to their guardian, my guardian angel, to go to their guardian angel. There are people that I have lost contact with that I am so sorry for things that I have done to them. I know I'm forgiven. However, I want them to be healed. I want them to lift the grudge. And when I pray to Blessed Mother and I pray to the guardian angels, even though they don't come to me because I've lost contact with them, to tell me, it's just like God, the Holy Spirit shows me that, like, the grudge is being lifted.
Yeah.
Supernaturally, I see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah.
Keep doing that. I think it's very healthy. What do you think, Jer?
Yeah. No, thank you, Elizabeth. You have inspired us today on the program. We appreciate your participation, and we hope that your teenage daughter will appreciate your exhortation to offer it up, and we'll pray for you as well. And when we say offer it up, you know, we're in union with the suffering of Christ. Look at what we're doing. That is the supreme example. If anybody in the world ever had a reason to hold a grudge, it would be our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because he was, pure and innocent and sinless and all of that. And what did he say? He said, Father, forgive them. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Now, he was divine and also human, so we have that example of his humanity. But also, we just need to emulate him if we can. And the best, the more we're able to do that, hopefully grudges would just kind of melt away.
Absolutely. And just to go back to what Elizabeth said, I think it's so beautiful to send your guardian angel from thought to thought, to talk to that guardian angel of that person. I think that is really wise and healing and helpful, because there are many times that we have lost touch with folks, or they're way in our past, and sometimes trying to find them or make that phone call is not the smartest thing to do based on circumstances. You could be in a different relationship or something like that, and that could trigger all sorts of things from the past. It may not be the wise thing to do. Sending your guardian angels, it works. And it is very helpful. And that's what our guardian angels are there to help us, and to help in the ministry work to us, which is that's part of it, Jerry. So I love what Elizabeth had to say.
Me too. All right, the number is 833-288-3986. Take two with Jerry and Debbie talking about grudges today. And Linda called in from Everett, Washington. You are next. And she is watching the video feed on Facebook, and a first-time caller. Linda, we're so glad that you took time to be with us. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So what would you like to share?
Well, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Oh, yeah, perfectly.
Oh, okay. Well, I have been I'm like a positive, happy person naturally, but I've had issues with my 44-year-old son that's costing me a relationship with him, as well as my granddaughter that's like 19 months old. And he holds grudges, and I'm holding a grudge because, He's hurt me several times, but, first it was like he didn't call me when she was born at all. I'm the grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something you don't do. You call your mom after you have a baby, at least sometime that day, And he also, this last Christmas, he lives in Arizona. I live in Washington State, and he came all the way to Washington for 2 weeks to his mother-in-law's house and never even bothered to call me or see me that whole time because they didn't think I would find out. Matter of fact, I found out on accident. And then the big kicker was that he posted something about his granddaughter on Facebook. It was her picture, and 2 people posted on his Facebook about my granddaughter, and they're both child molesters, and I'll call them rapists, and they are related to him on his father's side of the family that I think he should have nothing to do with. And he has allowed my granddaughter to see this child molester, basically who raped his own daughter. I don't like the word child molester. If they've raped, I think they're rapists, child rapists, And so I posted on his, it was his wife's Facebook, because I was appalled and really angry that they were even allowed on there or to even make a comment about my granddaughter. I flipped out and, called them what they are, and anyways, that started the whole thing. And he hasn't talked to me since because his loyalty, he has a close relationship with his father's side of the family. And on my side of the family, I don't really have any family on my side of the family, just me. So apparently when you have families in numbers, it looks better no matter what kind of creepies they are, Anyway.
Okay, so well, Linda, couple things. Are you are you Catholic?
I am a Catholic. I'm I was born and raised Catholic. I'm a cradle Catholic, Roman Catholic. I raised my granddaughter. She's almost 7, and she goes to a Catholic school. My kids went to a Catholic school. Not all of them, though, and not my oldest one. My oldest one's 44 that we're talking about. And I also watch my grandson that's 18 months old 5 days a week for my youngest daughter. So I am a practicing and devout Catholic.
Good. Okay, so real quickly, I just wanted to share with you. First of all, you probably know this. You're not alone. There's tens of millions of parents that are having trouble with their adult children, severed relationships, really problems, estrangements, all sorts of stuff happening right now. Why is that happening? It's an overall, I think, worldly thing that's happening with the breakdown of the family, the loss of respect, the breaking of the commandment, honor your father and mother. There's also, if possibly the family, there was a divorce in the family, and then that, fractures the family, all sorts of things. So I want you to know that that's a real serious problem that's happening right now. We as Catholics, we have things in our toolbox we can use to help strengthen us and the relationships. Number one is the novena, Lady Undoer of Knots. Lady Undoer of Knots. If you could please start praying that several times if you have to, not just once. Very important. Number two, your guardian angels. Please develop your relationship or continue to deepen your relationship with your guardian angel, knowing that they are there helping you, helping your son, helping your family, and enlist that help from the guardian angels. The Feast of the Guardian Angels is this Friday, so perfect time for you to remember that you started it right now. The other thing too is, you saw something that was wrong. You stepped in as every good mother would do, right? And it's not accepted by your adult child. It's a common, unfortunate situation that's happening on a regular basis. You did your part, okay? You know the old saying, no good deed goes unpunished. It's kind of the same thing. You had to do the right thing. It may be punished by those around you, and that seems odd, right? Well, you do it for the right reasons, and you let it be. And the reason why I say this, Linda, I can speak from experience because I have not had a healthy, whole relationship with my 2 adult sons since 2007. So I think I can speak from experience on this. I will tell you though, stay the course, deepen your own faith life. It's the most important. Live out your faith, and then you watch how God will work this plan. That would be my best sisterly advice to impart to you, Linda. What do you think?
I think that's excellent advice. I mean, excellent advice. And I know you're right. But, there's such a thing as blindness that runs rampant. And his blindness to these people that are, in my opinion, evil, to risk my granddaughter in their presence is, I'm willing to risk almost anything to keep that from happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
You're right. It's hard to know where to put my emotions. It's hard to. I feel so strongly that no, I'm not always right. But in this case, I am very firm in what I believe that is right and wrong, and I feel like I'm not backing down. But at the same time, why can't he see the truth and what he's risking? And you mentioned honor thy mother and thy father. Well, what's going on with that? Because there's so many people that are not doing that.
That's right. I know. That's what's happening right now. Well, look at what Satan has done. He has come into the family. He's broken it apart. We've redefined what marriage and family is. The whole thing's a mess. So Satan, this is what's happened. Okay. This is exactly what's happened now. Now you've got these adult children. And I'll tell you, Linda, your son's age, my son's in his 30s. I mean, this is happening all around the world. If you could see what I see on a regular basis, I have joined multiple groups. I've spoken at different events for this exact topic that you're talking about, Linda. It's happening all across the world. Why is it happening like that to all these families with adult children, disrespecting their parents, being mean, going up and visiting right in the town that person lives in and not calling them? Why is it happening? It's evil. It's evil. Satan loves to distort, divide.
Yeah. And you're telling me this is happening, but I don't see anybody else going through this but me.
Well, hold on, Linda. Yes, but hold on, Linda. You know why? Because we're all embarrassed to talk about it, because we don't talk about it. The groups that I speak at, they're ashamed. They feel embarrassed. They don't want to say anything because everybody has to look like they have the perfect family. Families are very, very fractured. There's severed relationships all across the board with grandparents. And this is for intact families as well, not just divorced families. So, Linda, you're not alone. There's tens of millions of us.
Well, I feel sad that there's that many. At the same time, I feel a little normal now that I'm not the only one.
Good.
It is embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's embarrassing, but it is. I don't have an answer.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Well, and Linda, God bless you. I can't really add anything to what Debbie said other than just to say you are so right about if these child molesters or, as you said, rapists are having any access at all to your granddaughter. That is definitely a cause for concern, and you really need to be ramping up the prayers for that. And we'll definitely keep that intention in our prayers as well. In fact, tomorrow is our prayer show. It's whom or what are you praying for? So we will lift that up, Linda. Thank you for calling from Everett, Washington, a little bit north of Seattle. We appreciate that so much. Yes.
Real quickly,
Sure.
Because of Linda's call, why don't we do a show? I'll put a show on the topic on our show calendar for November. Okay, talking about estrangements, estranged children, alienated kids, adult children who have walked away from moms and dads. Linda will address this, and you'll see how the phone lines light up of people all around the world that share the same story that we do.
Yeah.
Jerry.
God bless you, Linda. Thank you for your call. You have our prayers. Be assured of that. And speaking of prayers, every day the EWTN broadcasts the Holy Rosary, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It's the Rosary with Mother Angelica and the nuns of Our Lady of the Angels Monastery. And in the evening, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the Rosary is a place with Father Benedict, Rochelle, and Simonetta. EWTN brings you the Holy Rosary twice every day and has been doing so for over 25 years. So be sure and tune in and pray with people all around the world.
Okay, Diane is up next. Also on Facebook, we're waving to you. First time caller, Houston, Texas is where you live. Hi, Diane. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. Well, I'm kind of on the opposite end of the last caller. So I have a mother-in-law who is not in our life right now, and I kind of want to keep it that way. We've gone through 20 years of a battle with her, where she didn't come to our wedding because it was in Michigan instead of here in Houston. So she tried to make up lies about me to turn the family against me. And then we forgave her for that one. She's done stuff when I've had my kids. We've forgiven her for that. But my mom just passed away in February, and she tried to make the funeral about her and her behavior, and that the kids, she was upset because my older son was so close with my mom, and that really upset her. And so she started making up lies about me again, and I couldn't deal with it. So I just stayed away and told my husband, you still have your relationship. I've never taken the kids away from her or my husband. I've always tried to forgive, but this time I can't forgive when you do something around my mom's funeral. It's a very hard thing for me to forgive because the lies that she's made up about me, I don't even know where she gets the stuff. And so now she has made it to where the whole family has turned against my husband and and I feel more bad for him. For me, I just don't want this toxic woman in my life because she's done this. She actually took her kids away from their grandparents when they were kids and didn't allow them to have a relationship because the grandparents buck her. If you buck her at all, this is what happens.
Okay, so Diane, real quickly, because we're gonna run out of time. We're so sorry for your the loss of your mom. Can you give us her first name so we can enter her into our book?
Yes, Carolyn.
Carolyn. Okay. We're so sorry about that. But I just want to say something real quickly, if I may. You said, I just can't forgive. It's because it's around my mom's funeral. So it's like, or around my mom's death. You know, you can hear the love you have for your mother. You can hear how protective you are for your mother. I would just ask you to do this. It's not that you can't forgive. It's that right now it's too hard to forgive right now. Just give it some time, get through the grief, get through everything, let things lay to the side, put it on the shelf. Don't address it. Don't attach emotions to it. It's time for you to just grieve and think about your beautiful mother and her life and her legacy rather than addressing this. Pick this back up maybe as a family later on and give it some time and see how it plays out, because I just think sometimes when we react instead of respond, especially when we're coming out of a pain of grief, it can just make things even worse. That would just be my suggestion. What do you think, Jerry?
Well, yeah, obviously it sounds like her behavior is very inappropriate and inexcusable in all of these instances. I know that she has to be wounded in some way, needy in some way. I mean, these are her ways of kind of acting out based on, maybe experiences she has had or, wounds she's had or relationships that didn't work out very well. But Diane, I think you're right to establish, a healthy boundary there. You've got your husband to think about and his relationship with his mom. But as for you, I agree with Debbie. Maybe just give this some time, especially as you grieve and remember your beloved mother. And hopefully this will all get a little bit better for you. We're going to be praying for you, Diane, for this and for your entire family. So thank you very much for joining us in Houston. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Diane. And Margaret, we're not going to get to you. You're always welcome to call back tomorrow. We have our prayer show. Whom or what are you praying for? Somebody just texted in, one of our listeners, and said, Debbie, what do you do with these families that have problems? Well, we need heroes. We need a hero to rise up in the family to heal the family. Can you be that hero today? That's a good question, Jerry.
All right, we take your prayer intentions tomorrow and gather them all up and present them to the Lord. It's whom or what are you praying for? Be sure to think about it overnight. Tell us what's important to you, and we'll pray with you for it right here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. And until then, have a beautiful and blessed day.